Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another weekly stock market update. I'm your host, Mark Yegge. And I hope your year is off to a great start. I'm hoping 2023 is going to be a big year. I know everybody's talking about how negative things are going to be. And I know everybody's saying that the Fed is going to screw things up and we're going to go into recession. And we're already in a recession, so it can't get much worse. Inflation's pretty bad. Eggs are up like 400%. But, you know, when everybody in the world is going this way in the stock market, you want to be going that way. And that's just the way it is. And right now, you know, we've got a lot of things that are ticking in the right direction, and momentum means something in the stock market. So I want to show you what I'm talking about here. Just got off our call with our mastermind group in the cash flow machine. And you know, we're excited because we haven't seen a really good green market in a while, and we've got a green market going on right now. So let's go right there. Hopefully you can see what I've got going on. Anyway, if you can't, you can't. Anyway, so we got 4 green lights in the market, and it is rocking and rolling. So this market is actually testing the highs that it had back in August, the highs that it had back in mid-November, and it's right there again. So we'll see if it can bust through. My suspicion is we've got a lot of energy behind the market right now. Tax law selling is over. Could it be this January effect, the Santa Claus rally? I don't know what they call it. But once the tax selling gets finished in December, there's not a lot of sellers. They've exhausted that bear market selling they took advantage of. And they can push those forward. So I think they're good to go. All right, now let's buy some stuff, see if we can make a profit. So we got 4 green lights. That puts us in a green condition in the market. That means you got to buy something. By the way, this is education. This is fun. This is not a you know, financial investing advice, blah, 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 those things that the lawyers make me say. But the bottom line is, this is what I think. This is my opinion. And, you know, I think we got a green market. So the probabilities are that the market's going to continue to go up when things turn green. That's the experience that I have based on my system that I've built over many years. All right. But if you look at this chart, this doesn't look very good. This is the NASDAQ chart. It's the worst one of all of them. So it gets better. But you can see it's coming up off the bottom. It's revisited that bottom level here 3 or 4 times. And now I think we got some strength above the 50, and maybe it's going to make a charge above that 200, that black line, and maybe even keep going higher. I don't know. At some point, the market has to quit selling off, doesn't it? Like, doesn't it? All right. This one shows you that it does. This is the S&P 500. Look at that, above the 50 and touching the 200. And when things go above the 200, now we've got some good stuff going on. And when things stay above the 50, that's even better. So we've got both of those happening right now in the S&P 500. It's a broader index. The Dow Jones Industrial, so I mean, for the last month and a half, have been ridiculously good. It kind of sold off, went and tested that 50-day moving average. You could see kind of hovering around that red line. And now it's back above it on like 4 or 5 days of positive trading here in the market. Pretty good. So we want to keep that going. And then the New York Stock Exchange, again, same thing. This one's even better than all of them. It's above all the averages. And this one is like 3,000 stocks. So this has got a pretty broad representation of all the markets there. And when the New York Stock Exchange moves up, you better pay attention, because other things are going to be moving up too. And you can see that other 3 indexes out of the 4 that I just showed you are in an uptrend. Let me show you a couple other interesting things. The volatility is down below where it's been in a long time, right? And when volatility is lower, that means people are comfortable getting back in the market. And so you can see that. I think we've had like 5 or 6 days in a row. We haven't of up days in a row in the NASDAQ, and we haven't had that since last July. So positive stuff going on in the NASDAQ. We've got the Dow Jones Transportation Average. The theory is that Dow theory says that transports lead the Dow Jones Industrial Average. I showed you that stellar performance, at least relatively stellar performance on the Dow Jones Industrial Average. This is why. When people are moving things around the country, that's good for business, right? So the transportations are moving up, therefore the Dow Jones Industrial Average moves up because the economy is moving, right? I don't care what they're saying. The pundits didn't tell you that the market was going to be a bear market last year. They were all talking about how great things were at the beginning of the year. So don't listen to them. You know, just, I'm not saying you got to listen to me. I'm saying you make your own decisions, but take some of the data that I'm giving you and formulate your own opinion, because you're just as smart as those idiots on TV. Like you get a guy from Harvard and a guy from Yale on two sides of the screen. They have two totally different opinions. What is the point of that? Make your own decision, make your own way in the markets, figure out your own strategies and systems. All right, I want to show you one more stock and I'm going to let you go. And that is the stock that's been on my radar for a couple of weeks, and I've been waiting for a green market. And this to me is a stock that is constructively good. So you can see this is a weekly chart, and you can see it's got a nice lower left to upper right trend, at least in the last 3 or 4 months. And this has got some really good numbers. So the earnings per share growth rate is about 127%. That's a 3-year earnings per share growth rate average. Return on equity is 348%, but that's offset by the huge amount of debt that they have. Doesn't matter. They're putting debt into factories, making a lot of shoes. They make those Crocs, right? And I went to a Crocs store a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, okay, I think I want to buy some Crocs. Whoa. 50, 60, 70, $80 for a pair of Crocs. And they're these plastic things. They just pump them out. So they're so cheap to make, giving them high margins. Good business. I used to own this one back in like 2005, by the way. Anyway, it's a good stock. So growing sales, growing earnings, return on equity is really good. Stock chart is really good. It's got a 98 relative strength rating, which means it's performing better than 98% of all the other stocks in the database. Things are looking constructive. You know what? I don't know if it's going to go up. I don't know if it's going to go down. If you buy it, certainly have a strategy to protect yourself. Make sure you get out of this thing. I like to use 7% from a proper buy point and not let it go below that, but you can use whatever you want. But anyway, I sure thank you for being here with me, and I hope these are constructive for you. And by the way, I'm starting a program called the Income Accelerator. It's next Wednesday, and it's what it does is it takes all of the best facets of the cash flow machine, and it puts them into an easy to understand live mentorship program. It's a 5-week long training program. I don't know if I'm going to do it again. I'm kind of testing it out because I want to do something live so I can impact a few more people. And it's an intimate group that we're putting together. So I got a couple more spots left open if you're interested. A couple of people asked me to mention this while I was on the call here today, this weekly update. So I'm mentioning it, but I don't know if I have any room. I got to check with my team as far as today goes. But in any case, if you're interested, let us know. There's a lot of ways you can do it here, right here in the Facebook group, or send a comment through our YouTube channel. There's lots of ways. You know how to get a hold of me. You'll figure it out if you're interested. But it starts next Wednesday night, 8 o'clock Eastern time. It's called the Income Accelerator, and I hope you can make it if there's a spot available. If not, and I want to do this again, I might do it in a couple months or 3 months, whenever I get some time, and you can take advantage of that. But listen, enough about that. Thanks for being on. Hope to see you next week. Have a fantastic long weekend. See you next time. Bye.